Hi guys, Ali Duzette here, and welcome to November. We did it. We got through October, we got through this eclipse portal, we got through Halloween, and here we are. It is All Saints Day, of course, a day to remember those who have passed on, which Halloween is about as well. And that actually did not inspire what we're about to do next, but it ends up being very perfect when I think about it. So, as I was thinking about what kind of activities we should be up to as a group, as a community through the month of November, oh man, I had a million ideas and none of them felt exactly right. And I will tell you now what did feel exactly right. It is ancestral healing work. And I have prepared the next 30 days through the month of November. We are going to do a bunch of stuff to help heal our ancestral trauma. And this is a big deal. So, let's talk about it. Okay, everybody is affected by our ancestors. Okay, we're going to think back through all of time. Adam and Eve had kids and they had kids and they had kids, and you are the product of so many people who grew up and had kids over and over and over, all the way down to you. And here you are, and you carry this genetic material from all sorts of people. Now, okay, I have to talk about this very first of all, because people love to pass on this ridiculous meme that's like, you must have 10 trillion ancestors, as if our ancestral trees go back and back out like that. They don't. Our family trees go out and then in like diamonds all the way through our lives, or like all the way through our genealogical trees, because what happens is our anytime there's what's called a bottleneck and a bunch of people die because of famine or war or whatever, the family tree gets skinny again. Okay. And so that's when you have like cousin marriage and that kind of thing. But no, you don't have a trillion ancestors. You have much fewer than that, because you only go out so far before things start getting small again. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense if you look at a genealogical tree. Okay. I'm going to tell this story. I've told this story before. It's in my book, Heal Your Ancestors, which I strongly recommend. We're not going to be working out of that book for this challenge because I don't know why, because I just didn't feel like it. But it's going to be a really good, addition to the challenge that we're going to go through over the next 30 days. So go to Amazon, Heal Your Ancestors, Heal Yourself. That is my book. And it's really good. It contains a lot about epigenetics, and then it contains a bunch of healing exercises that you can do, and we're not going to duplicate them during this challenge. So those are really good. And in particular, they deal with issues of war and famine. So especially if you have obesity in your family, if you have a lot of conflict in your family, clearing out generational patterns that have originated from war or from famine are going to be really helpful for you personally, for your children personally, and for your entire family line. Now, family line work is really important because, in my opinion, our ancestors are our angels. Okay. And maybe you believe that too. You can pray about it. Ask our creator if that is true. Look at the events of your lives when you thought an angel was with you. Was that a relative of some kind? I think for a lot of us, our relatives are our angels. And this is my understanding. My understanding is that when we die, all of our traumas are not magically erased. That is my belief. I know a lot of people are very emotionally invested in this idea that when you die, everything is fine. You just feel great. But that has not been my experience as a healer. And I don't know. I just don't believe that. I believe that our ancestors, our deceased ones that we love, still carry a lot of the trauma that they carried in life. And what I have found is that you need a body in order to metabolize, like to physically metabolize the chemicals of those emotions. And so what happens is when people pass, they are no longer able to process their emotions. And what happens, so I've been in the room with people that have died, and I have been in the room with people who had family members die at that moment, if that makes sense. And in both cases, excuse me, I have seen how at the moment of death, it's like a person's spirit permanently exiting their body creates this like almost like a nuclear blast of energy. And when it goes out, it it's almost like the shrapnel of their energy lodges in their closest biological relations. Okay. So this is one reason why, even if you didn't really love, your grandpa, your father, your, sister or something, if they pass, a lot of times you still might feel a ton of unexpected emotions. And the reason for that is because your physical body, when their physical body finished with their physical journey, they let loose this explosion of emotional energy, and it gets sent down the biological line. Okay. Ancestral work is biological. If you were adopted, that does not matter. It is still biological. You do this work for your biological relations. That is how it works. But yeah, all of that energy can lodge in biological relations, and the closer you are to someone who has passed, the more of their junk that your system is probably going to take on, unless you have specifically set in boundaries not to do that. But most people have never done that because it didn't even occur to them to do that. So okay, so back up, because we're talking about our ancestors as angels. If our ancestors are our angels, and our ancestors are still dealing with trauma from their life, what does that mean for the quality of work that they can do for us as our angels? I'm going to suggest that perhaps some of our ancestors are not as effective as they could be as angels for us because they are still dealing with their own life traumas. What does this mean? It means that when we do our own healing work, and then when we do healing work on behalf of our ancestors, that healing work, first off, helps them feel better. But second off, it makes it so that they can be more effective angels for us. When we serve our ancestors in this way, we are freeing them from the burdens that they're carrying. And we are also adding to that army of wonderful people that are able to step in and intervene and influence events in our lives to improve our lives. Okay, so what might this look like? I am just thinking of, I've done a ton of sessions on this in my life when I was doing personal sessions. So many sessions where people's ancestors had big problems. And when these people would clear their ancestors' issues, when you clear an ancestral issue that's affecting your generational line, you feel better. All other living descendants of that ancestor feel better, even if they don't notice it, like they don't know what happened. They might just wake up and be like, I feel lighter today. I don't feel as depressed today. Maybe they were processing some residual depression from a great grandmother, and you cleared it. And then, your cousins are feeling better. Your second cousins that you've never met are feeling better. Okay. This is really powerful work to serve a lot of people. But then that great grandma no longer is dealing with depression, and she's so grateful for you. She is going to step up her angel game and help you out by being more effective. Now, years ago, one of my great grandmas passed away. I loved her so much. We were good friends. She was just the best. She died when I was 19, and I moved out. I moved out of my parents' house when I was 16, and I moved to Utah at that time. And she lived in Bountiful, and I lived in Provo, and I would see her pretty regularly. And so we got to kind of know each other when I was kind of a grown-up, and it was so nice. And years after she passed, I felt like she came to me and she told me, Allie, she said, you have to help me. I am trying really hard to do the jobs I need to do as an angel, but I can't because I'm so distracted by this particular trauma that I had when I was a teenager. And I have never gotten over it. I never got over it in my life. I never got over it in my death, and you need to help me. And so that night I did a session for my deceased grandma to help her clear out that stuff. And I felt like she thanked me. And I felt like after that, she's been able to be a much more present angel in my life. But then she has a ton of descendants. She had her 3 kids, and each of them had multiple kids, and each of them had multiple kids, and each of them had multiple kids. And she was my great grandma, but now she's my kid's great grandma. And the ripples keep going. When you do the work for one ancestor, you help the entire family line for so many people, and you help that ancestor. So when we do ancestral healing work, you are blessing yourself, you are blessing your children, you are blessing your parents, you're blessing all of your relatives, whether you know them or not, and you're blessing that person. And that person is going to thank you and bless you back. And it just opens all of these doors for incredible, incredible healing. So that is what we're going to work on this November. Okay. Over the next 30 days, I have kind of structured a little series that we're going to do right here on YouTube, where we're going to be working on healing ourselves, healing our ancestors. And I just feel so excited about it because it's going to open up a lot of opportunities for us that we don't even realize are out there or even possible. Oh man, I started out by saying that I was going to tell a story and I didn't tell my story yet, but now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, no, I'll save it for tomorrow. It's a good story. It's a good story and you're going to love it. I already know. But before I talk about that, the thing that I want to be sure to mention is that the most important thing that you can do today is go to allieduzetclasses.com, go to the foundational sessions, and if you sign up now, they're free. You just like put in your email. Oh, it will look different because I'm an admin, but inside the foundational sessions, you are going to start right here with how to get the most out of your sessions, and then you're going to watch You Deserve to Heal. It's free. Watch You Deserve to Heal and the Q&A for You Deserve to Heal. That is going to be really helpful to you over the next 4 days. The recommended sessions for these next 4 days are the foundational sessions: You Deserve to Heal, Calling Back Your Power, Reset Your Polarity, and the grounding session. And those are going to prepare your body for the important work that we're going to be doing on behalf of our ancestors. So today, I'm going to invite you to do You Deserve to Heal. If you want to, you can do it twice. Now, if you go and watch the first one, how to get the most out of your sessions, it's going to explain how to do these sessions on behalf of other people. And that's what we're going to be doing this month. You're going to do a session for yourself, then you're going to turn around and do it again on behalf of your ancestral line. Because, okay, so when you're dealing with living people, it is not safe to do a session for multiple living people at the same time. You do it for yourself, you do it for, I have 5 kids. I'd have to do my session 5 different times, 1 time for each different kid. I can't say, I'm going to do it for all my kids. It's an overwhelming disaster. Please trust me on this. You do not want to try that. It's different with the deceased, and it is safe for you to do You Deserve to Heal for yourself, and then turn around and you could do it the same day. And what you would just do is say, I'm doing this now on behalf of my ancestors. And you just do it on behalf of your ancestors. You just watch the same session. It's kind of like a podcast. You just like put it on, do your dishes and listen, but you're going to do it from the mindset of, I'm doing this to serve my ancestors. Any of my ancestors who have issues that are ready to clear using this session, I'm allowing them to clear through me right now. And you're going to allow those to flow right through you, and it's going to be really good. And you will see for yourself how it feels different the second time as you do it for your ancestors. And I'm really excited to hear the stories that you experience. But that is where I want you to get started today. If you have the time, go over to the foundational sessions, start with the session, the instructions that just say how to get the most out of your session. It's just instructions that explain how the sessions work. And then get started with You Deserve to Heal. You Deserve to Heal is a very critical session for yourself and for your ancestors, because if you or they do not believe that you or they deserve to heal, your subconscious mind is going to sabotage your healing process. And it's just going to make everything worse and harder for you. And it's not going to be good. So do that one and it will bless your life. And then do it again on behalf of your ancestors. And this is going to set a really good tone for the work that we're going to do over the next 30 days. But I just feel so excited for the work that we're going to do. We're going to be doing kind of some all-purpose work that is going to help shift a lot, like a wide variety of stuff from the ancestral line. And I think you're going to see how it's going to help you feel better, help all of your relatives feel better. And you're going to see some surprise miracles show up, because you're going to see an increase in angelic activity in your life, and you're going to love it. So I can't even wait. Go get started with the foundational sessions. You Deserve to Heal, and I'm going to see you tomorrow. I am so glad you're here.